亲爱的听众，欢迎来到故事的世界。夜色渐深，星光闪烁，愿这个故事轻轻引领你进入宁静的梦乡。闭上眼睛，放松身心，让你的想象随我们一同漫游在文字的魔法中。现在，故事开始了。老人与海。从前，有一位年老的渔夫，名叫圣地亚哥。他住在古巴的一个小村庄里，靠海而生。他已经84天没有捕到一条鱼了。渔民们都觉得他很不幸，村里的人渐渐疏远了他，甚至觉得他是个不祥之人。然而，圣地亚哥从未放弃希望，他心中始终有信念，相信自己一定会有好收获。每天早晨，圣地亚哥都会独自一人驾着小船出海。他曾经有一个小男孩，名叫曼诺林，跟随他一起学捕鱼。但由于圣地亚哥长时间没有捕到鱼，男孩的父母让曼诺林改跟别的渔夫出海。然而，男孩依然对圣地亚哥充满敬意，常常偷偷跑来帮他准备渔具，给他带吃的东西。曼诺林很喜欢这个老人，因为圣地亚哥总是耐心地教他捕鱼的技巧，并讲述自己年轻时的冒险故事。第85天的清晨，圣地亚哥决定出海再试一次。这天的他感到特别自信，觉得自己会捕到一条大鱼。他划着小船，驶向大海的深处，远离了其他渔船。海风轻轻吹拂，海浪轻拍着船身，仿佛在陪伴他寻找命运中的那条鱼。一天的时间过去了，太阳渐渐西斜，圣地亚哥的手紧握着鱼线，感觉到深海里有某种巨大的力量在牵扯。突然，鱼线猛地被拉动，圣地亚哥立刻反应过来，一条巨大的鱼上钩了。他感到一股强大的力量从海底传来，这是一条他从未见过的大鱼，可能比他以前捕过的所有鱼都要大。他知道这是一条非常强壮的鱼，不可能轻易把它拉上来。老人不敢贸然行动，怕鱼会挣脱。他耐心地放松鱼线，任凭大鱼在水中游动，等待时机。时间一分一秒地过去，太阳已经落下，但大鱼依然没有露出水面，反而带着小船在海上漂流。夜幕降临，海面变得漆黑，只有天上的星星点点闪烁。圣地亚哥孤独地坐在船上，双手紧握着鱼线，感受着鱼的力量。他知道自己与这条大鱼之间展开了一场持久的较量。第二天，太阳再次升起，圣地亚哥的双手已经磨破了皮，浑身疲惫不堪，但他依然没有放弃。大鱼依旧在远处游动，但力量似乎开始减弱。圣地亚哥心里明白，这条鱼已经耗费了大量体力，渐渐靠近了小船。这是他等待的时刻。老人用尽全力，稳稳地收紧鱼线，慢慢地将大鱼拉向船边。这是一条巨大的马林鱼，蓝色的鱼鳍在阳光下闪闪发光，鱼身长得比圣地亚哥的小船还要长。他在水中拼命挣扎，试图逃脱，但圣地亚哥毫不松手。他知道这条鱼是他一生中最重要的收获，绝不能让它溜走。经过数小时的奋战，圣地亚哥终于用鱼叉刺中了大鱼的心脏。马林鱼的力量逐渐减弱，最终在水中不再挣扎。老人深深地呼出一口气，他感到无比的满足和骄傲。他终于捕到了这条梦寐以求的大鱼，这证明了自己依然是一名出色的渔夫。然而，事情并没有结束。圣地亚哥必须将这条巨大的马林鱼拖回岸边。他把鱼绑在小船的一侧，然后开始返航。鱼实在太大，无法放进船里，只能让它在水中随船漂浮。海面上泛起的血腥味引来了鲨鱼，几条鲨鱼闻到血腥味，迅速游了过来，试图抢走圣地亚哥的战利品。圣地亚哥并没有被吓倒，他用鱼叉和船上的工具拼命抵抗，击退了一条又一条鲨鱼，但每次鲨鱼都咬下了大鱼的一部分。 随着时间的推移，鲨鱼越来越多，圣地亚哥渐渐力不从心。到达岸边时，他捕获的那条巨大的马林鱼已经只剩下了一副骨架。当他拖着破败的小船靠岸时，已经是夜深了。圣地亚哥疲惫不堪，几乎没有力气走回自己的小屋。第二天早晨，村里的渔民们发现了那副巨大的鱼骨架，纷纷感到震惊，他们从未见过如此庞大的鱼。曼诺林来看望圣地亚哥，他看到老人满是伤痕的双手，心疼极了。他告诉圣地亚哥，从今以后，他无论如何也要跟随老人一起出海，不再让他独自一人面对大海。圣地亚哥静静地躺在床上，尽管最终他没能带回整条鱼，但他心里依然充满了自豪。捕到这样一条鱼，证明了他作为一名渔夫的价值。哪怕这条鱼最终被鲨鱼毁坏了，他依然赢得了与大海的战斗。这个故事讲述了老渔夫圣地亚哥和他与大海及大鱼的搏斗。故事不仅展示了他在面对困难时的坚韧不拔，还揭示了他对自己职业的热爱和执着。尽管最终结果不尽如人意，但圣地亚哥内心的胜利感并未消失。他教会了我们，即使在失败中也可以找到胜利的意义。每个人都会面对失败，但重要的是如何在逆境中保持自己的尊严和勇气。这个故事也可以引导我们思考，什么是真正的成功？是物质上的成就，还是精神上的坚持？也许有时真正的胜利并不在于结果，而在于我们在追求过程中所表现出的勇敢和无畏。接下来我将为你讲述这个故事的英文版本，希望你随着故事的声音慢慢进入梦乡。愿你有一个宁静美好的夜晚，做个好梦。
Welcome, dear listener, to a world of stories. As the night grows quiet and the stars begin to glow, let this tale gently guide you into a peaceful slumber. Close your eyes, relax, and let your imagination drift as we journey together into the magic of words. Now, let's begin. The Old Man and the Sea. Once upon a time, there was an old fisherman named Santiago, who lived in a small village by the sea in Cuba. He was an experienced fisherman, but it had been 84 days since he had last caught a fish. The other fishermen saw him as unlucky, and people in the village began to distance themselves from him, some even calling him Salao, the worst form of unlucky. But Santiago did not let these thoughts weigh him down. Deep in his heart, he still believed in his skills and that his luck would turn around. Every morning, Santiago would set out alone in his small boat, rowing into the Gulf Stream to try his luck. He once had a young boy named Marlin who worked with him as his apprentice. But after so many days without catching fish, the boy's parents insisted that he fish with a more successful crew. However, the boy loved Santiago deeply and respected him greatly. Even though they no longer fished together, Manolin still helped Santiago prepare his fishing gear every morning and brought him food. Manolin admired the old man's patience, wisdom, and the stories of his youth, filled with adventure and the strength he once had. On the 85th morning, Santiago decided to go out farther than usual, farther into the deep waters where he was sure he would find bigger fish. He was filled with a renewed sense of hope, feeling in his bones that today would be the day. He rowed his boat far beyond the sight of other fishermen, heading into the wide, empty sea. The wind was soft, and the waves gently rocked the boat, as if encouraging Santiago in his quest. The day wore on, and the sun climbed high in the sky. Santiago felt a tug on his line, and then another, much stronger pull. He had hooked a fish, but not just any fish. This was the biggest fish he had ever felt. It was a marlin, a giant among fish, powerful and full of energy. Santiago could feel its strength as it pulled on the line, dragging his small boat further out to sea. He knew this fish would not be easy to catch. The marlin was too large, too strong to reel in quickly. Santiago allowed the fish to pull his boat along, careful not to tighten the line too much, fearing the fish might break free. Night fell, and still, the fish swam deep beneath the water, towing Santiago and his small boat further from land. The sky above glittered with stars, and the sea was dark and endless. Alone in the night, Santiago held onto the line, feeling the fish's every movement. He admired the marlin's strength and beauty, recognizing that this was a worthy opponent. In his heart, he knew this battle between man and fish would test his endurance. The next day dawned, and Santiago's hands were sore and bloodied from holding the line. His body ached, but his spirit remained strong. The marlin was beginning to tire. Santiago could sense it through the line. The fish was no longer pulling with the same force as before. Slowly, carefully, Santiago began to reel the fish closer to the boat. He knew this was his chance. When the fish finally broke the surface of the water, Santiago was amazed by its size. The marlin was enormous, longer than his boat, with a shimmering blue back and long pointed bill. The fish thrashed and fought, trying to escape, but Santiago, using all his strength and skill, managed to harpoon the marlin, driving his weapon deep into the fish's heart. The fight was over. The great marlin floated beside the boat, lifeless but magnificent. Santiago felt a deep sense of pride and triumph. He had caught the largest fish of his life, proving to himself that he was still a skilled fisherman despite his old age and the doubts of others. He tied the marlin alongside his boat, as it was far too large to bring on board, and began the long journey back to shore. As he sailed, he dreamed of how much this fish would fetch at the market, and how the villagers would respect him once again. But the victory was short-lived. As Santiago sailed back towards land, the smell from the marlin attracted sharks. The first shark came quickly, and Santiago fought it off with a harpoon hid in the brain. But as the day wore on, more sharks arrived, drawn by the scent in the water. One by one, Santiago fighted back as many as he could, using his harpoon, a club, and even the boats, or when he ran out of weapons. Yet, the sharks continued to tear away pieces of the marlin, eating it until only the skeleton remained. By the time Santiago finally returned to the shore, exhausted and beaten, all that was left of his great fish was a long spine with a bare bony head and tail. Santiago had lost most of the marlin to the sea, but the skeleton, now tied to his boat, was proof of his tremendous effort and the size of the fish he had battled. The villagers gathered the next morning to see the enormous fish skeleton, marveling at its size. They realized what a great fish Santiago had caught, and respected the old man for his perseverance. Even though he had lost most of his prize, Manolin came to Santiago's shack and saw the old man's wounded hands and tired face. He told Santiago that from now on, he would fish with him again, no matter what his parents said. Santiago lay in bed, exhausted but content, knowing that he had done his best. Though the sea had taken the most of the fish, it could not take away the pride he felt for having fought so bravely and skillfully. The story of the old man and the sea tells us about Santiago's great battle with nature. It's a story of struggle, resilience, and inner strength. Santiago's fight with the marlin shows his unwavering determination to prove his worth, even when others doubt him. Although he returns home with little to show for his efforts, he earns a moral victory. Santiago's spirit remains unbroken, and he teaches us that success isn't always about the tangible rewards. Sometimes, the greatest victories lie in our efforts and the courage to face impossible challenges. All right, that's the end of today's story. I hope you're already drifting into a peaceful dream, and parents, take this moment to relax and unwind from the day. May this moment bring you calm and serenity. Let's meet again tomorrow for another story. Have a good dream. This story invites us to reflect. What does it mean to succeed? Is it the physical achievement or the perseverance in the face of difficulty? Santiago reminds us that the real reward might just be in the journey itself, not the outcome.